hope you're having a great Easter weekend, and welcome to the Nashville Superspeedway. Race cars make their way onto the track. Today's race is presented by WinFuel. We'll check in one more time with Jeff Hammond.
Well, earlier this year, NASCAR changed the tire rule and allowed all the teams to have 6 sets to be used however they want to during the course of the weekend. If you look here in the pit of the 20 car, they have 4 sets behind the pit wall, but they also have 1 set on the race car. So that's only a total of 5. If you want to get your 6th set starting this weekend, NASCAR decided you've got to turn your first set back in to allow you to get that final set. And Dick Bergen, as we've seen early in the season, having that final set and knowing when to put them on has won some guys some races.
Yeah, it's also costing people some races. Clint Boyer had a chance to win last week in Atlanta, ran out of tires. Reason for this change, some of the very experienced drivers basically did no practice at all last weekend. One team, 13 laps, another 2 laps. Can't get away with that anymore. You've got to burn up a set of tires. Reed Sorensen's got 4.5 sets ready to go racing today.
All right, thanks a lot, Dick Berggren. As we take a look at the starting grid, Reed Sorensen, the 19-year-old, is your pole sitter. Clint Boyer alongside in row 2. The latest sensation, Carl Edwards, in row 2. He's next to Tim Fedewa. Great start for Denny Hamlin and J.J. Yaley. And, you know, Larry, earlier in qualifying, Reed Sorensen said you might see somebody put on 2 tires. Then in the pre-race show, David Stremme said, I don't think so. Everybody's going to put on 4. So what is the strategy today?
Well, I think what really threw the teams a curveball is the first 5 races, they were dealing with the new generation of tire that Goodyear was bringing. A little softer construction, a little softer compound, and the strategy the first 5 races was basically, other than the road course, the caution comes out, you put 4 tires on. But they did not really change the tire here at Nashville on this concrete surface. So I think it's so hard to pass. We talked about it in the opening. Track position is so important. Teams are looking at trying to make this 225 lap a 2-stop race. Now, I think what David Stremme is talking about is when you come in and just change 2 right side tires, it can vastly change the way the car handles. So it's almost possibly either no tires or 4 tires.
But not 2.
Especially late in the race.
You'll hear a lot about driver development today. We have some young faces that you may not be familiar with, but they're with great race teams. For example, Boston Reed Larry is with Hendrick Motorsports. A lot of new faces, but there's a lot of talent.
And yeah, I mean, you obviously you have to have a lot of talent to go out there and get the job done. But that's the biggest thing that I see is you have drivers like Boston Reed. They come in, they drive for Hendrick Motorsports. Reed Sorensen, he comes in and basically drives for Chip Ganassi. Clint Boyer, Brandon Miller, driving for Richard Childress. They're stepping in some pretty stout equipment.
22-year-old Aaron Fife will be in the 66 car that Greg Biffle has driven this year. As we take a look at the race analysis, as Larry Mack said, 225 laps. And Larry, looking at that pit window, 70 to 80 laps.
And again, you would need to go about 75 laps to be able to do it on 2 stops, but this 45 miles per hour, we've been seeing it all year long. Pit road being electronically monitored now for that pit road speed. That's what the teams are doing right now. They're getting a tack reading at 45 miles per hour, and we've been seeing each and every race teams getting busted, drivers getting busted for speeding on pit road, especially leaving the pit.
And I think that's been a great rule change. Matt Kenseth told us that as well. It's made it the same for everybody. There were guys who were better than others and getting a little advantage on pit road.
He said it made it the equalizer for the pit crews to who has the best pit crew.
All right, hope you guys are ready for 300 miles here at the Nashville Superspeedway.
Steve, we don't have DW here, but I'm going to still tell you, concrete racetrack, 300 miles, reach up there and pull those belts tight. Let's get her done, boys.
Reed Sorensen and Clint Boyer get the green flag. The Pepsi 300 is underway here in Nashville.
What we're going to see, we'll see a fight for the bottom of this racetrack. At the tippy toe up there in that second groove, not a lot of grip. You can see how much bite Reed Sorensen in the 41 car got off the corner, pulls it out to about a 3-car lead.
And just behind Sorensen, it's Carl Edwards in the 60. He goes by the 2 of Clint Boyer. Denny Hamlin in the red number 20 behind Boyer.
Right now, Tim Fedewa in the 12 car, he's trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack. He's finally going to blend in line. That's how Clint Boyer finally in 3 and 4 got to the bottom in the 2 car.
point.
And you'll see these cars as the race unfolds, they'll start flirting with that second groove, trying to get some rubber laid down, trying to get some grip up there where you can pass and run side by side.
And Larry, we had an ARCA Remax Series race here earlier this afternoon. They run Hoosier tires, so that adds to the complexity of trying to get grip as we see the battle for fourth.
Yeah, this is a battle between Tim Fedewa and the 12 car, Denny Hamlin in the 20. I think once Fedewa got to the bottom of the racetrack, he's got a pretty good race car. But yeah, it comes from the same rubber tree, you might say, but it's just a different type of rubber because it's a different compound.
Hamlin, the 24-year-old from Chesterfield, Virginia, in the 20. Fedewa draws down below him. J.J. Yaley just behind the 20. Yaley in the Joe Gibbs number 18.
I think Yaley did a little give and take right there. It's early in the race. We talked about that. Remember, Denny Hamlin in the 20 is J.J. Yaley's teammate, the 18 car.
Little give now, but a lot of taking later.
Absolutely. We saw that in the opening at the end of the race last year.
Tight battle there for the fourth position. Tim Fedewa has it. Denny Hamlin wants it. Great shot there, gives you an idea of how fast they're actually getting around this 1.33 mile racetrack. Sterling Marlin, or actually Brent Sherman in the 58.
It's Jeff Green in the 43 car making his first Busch Series start since Homestead down in Miami in the fall of 2003. We got a side-by-side battle right here. This is the battle for 6. We're riding with Shea Mill in the 32 car, J.J. Yaley in the 18 car on the outside.
Jeff Hammond.
Guys, you keep talking about J.J. Yaley. Just want to let you know he was involved in a testing crash that has really gave him a lot of pain in his back. I watched him get inside of his race car, and it's not very comfortable. And you know yourself, going around this racetrack for 300 miles is going to be a really big challenge for this young man. But he told me, he said, I'm tough enough, but he really has a serious back problem right now. Driving that race car, got a lot of padding in it. We take a look right now. Sterling Marlin is on pit road.
This would definitely be an unscheduled pit stop for Sterling Marlin. Looks like they're going to change at least right side tires. Sterling started back in the 27th position, and he's already a lap down now, so he's possibly going to go 2 laps down before this is all said and done.
To the right of your screen, you see Yaley in the 18, John Wood in the 47, just behind him, both trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack. Kenny Wallace just behind them.
Yeah, you have to use an excess road leaving pit road, and right now they're already going to put Sterling in the 40 car 2 laps down.
On board there with Brandon Miller. Miller riding 24th, just behind Justin LeBannon. There you see the lead Reed Sorensen has on Carl Edwards. For Busch Series Racing, headed your way from Nashville, you're watching FX.